Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever Amazing Wonder Team Let's Play. This time we're doing Mega Man 2. I'm Smelly Von Beli, one of the 6 commentators for the Amazing Wonder Team, and this time it will be a solo commentary due to I just wanted to get a Let's Play on the channel first for people to watch, and we'll get everyone else in on this sooner or later. But Mega Man 2 is what we're talking about today. This is one of the best games ever made. It's fantastic music, fantastic gameplay, fantastic challenge, and it all combines into one hell of a game that I love to death. One of the best in the Mega Man series, and I love the Mega Man series. So let's start this out. We're playing on difficult because it's difficult to the original difficulty setting for Japan, and it's more enjoyable to me at least. The game's way too easy on level. So, the 8 Robot Masters in this game are Flashman, Metalman, Heatman, Bubbleman, Airman, Woodman, Quickman, Crashman, and Crashman. And, basically, in a Mega Man game, you have to fight all 8 Robot Masters. The thing that makes Mega Man hard is that since you can go in any order you want, each stage is technically the hardest stage. Although, they do, I mean, there is easiest to hardest, but they have an extreme, there is no, like, learning curve for this game. All the stages are supposed to be, like, as difficult as the last stage, so you have to really come into this, knowing what to expect, or else you're gonna get, creamed. And when you beat a robot, when you get to the end of the stage, fight a Robot Master, if you beat him, you get their weapon, and that weapon is good against exactly one other Robot Master. Well, this will be the case in most of them. But in this game, there's actually a weapon that we'll talk about later that is actually insanely useful, and, well, we'll get to that later. I'm sure many of you that have played this game before, or at least know about this game, know what that special weapon is. So, I like to start out with Flashman. Many people like to start out with the Metal Man, and yes, Metal Man is the one with the special weapon. But I find Flashman's stage to be pretty easy. You get a free E-Tank at the end. And Flashman's an easier Robot Master to beat, and he gives you the power Flash Stopper, which is extremely useful against what is, in my opinion, the hardest Robot Master to defeat in this game, Quickman. So, we're coming up to the boss gate right now. You go in that boss gate, close it, and now we're about to fight Flashman, who's pretty easy. He stops time every 15 seconds or so and just shoots you with some pellets, but it's not too hard. You just jump over him, he just keeps walking towards you, get a safe distance away, shoot at him, jump over him, repeat the process, and Flashman should go down extremely quickly, netting us the Flash Stopper and the item 2. Now, in this game, there are 3 items. In later games, they'd be replaced by Mega Man's Robotic Dog Rush, but in this game, we get 3 items, item 1, 2, and 3. And you get item 1 by beating Heatman, item 2 by beating Airman, oh, excuse me, we're actually getting item 3 right now, and item 3 you get by beating Flashman, obviously. These work as travel mechanisms for Mega Man, letting him scale walls, create platforms, and ride in a horizontal line over spikes or whatnot. And they'll be useful, in fact required, in the later stages of the game. So we get this power, and we get the Flash Stopper power, which allows us to stop time for a few seconds, but there's a drawback. We do have to use it all in one go, and we cannot shoot. This will be later improved by such things as Brightman's weapon in Mega Man 4, which is basically the Flash Stopper, but better. And we can see right now, item 3, when you shoot it out, sticks to walls, and you can grab that one up. Now, right now we're in Quickman stage, and Quickman stage is very hard to at least newcomers because of the instant kill death lasers that come out on many of the screens. It's not too hard for people that have played the game a lot because you know exactly where they're coming from, but for newcomers this is pretty much hell because you need to really have some near pixel perfect timing here. If one of those lasers even scratches you, you're instantly dead no matter how much health you have. So that can make it kind of tough, especially infamous part coming up in the stage that's around the 3/4 mark. It's very difficult for newcomers. I know it took me a bit to get down, but once you know it, it's not too hard. It's this part coming up. You really have to know what's coming. It's pretty tricky. even now I get a bit worried, and sometimes I occasionally die, but luckily not here. And Quickman is, in my opinion, also the hardest Robot Master to defeat with the Mega Buster only. Good thing we have the Flash Stopper, which will effectively stop him for half the battle, but if you use the Flash Stopper all the way, which you have to do, it can only get him down to half health, so you have to do the other half with the Buster, which can kind of make him a pain, but definitely more manageable than fighting him all the way with just your Buster. And those guys over there were Walker Joes, Sniper Joes, and these little walkers. Sniper Joes are the guys with the gun that you get to shoot when you destroy the Walker, but Walker Joes are pretty hard to defeat at this point of the game. It's not until we get the air shooter that they'll be a much easier time to take out, and we'll see that later. But for now, this is the battle with Quickman, and as you can see, I've gotten him down to half health by using the Flash Stopper all the way, and now we just have to pull out the Mega Buster. I actually did a pretty good run here. I thought I'd have to use an E-Tank, which we got from Flashman stage, and E-Tank lets you refill all of your health. You can only use it once, but it refills all your health, so it's pretty much like an extra life in a can without having to use an extra life. But luckily I defeated him without needing to use up one E-Tank. And now we get a pretty good weapon from Quickman, the Quick Boomerang. It turns Mega Man pink for some reason. I don't know why. And right here's a little Easter egg. If you hold down A and B instead of stars, at the Robot Master select screen, you'll see birds flying in the background, which is kind of funny. But the Quick Boomerang is effective against Metal Man, not as effective as his own weapon, ironically, which can defeat him in 2 hits, and we'll see that later in the game when we come to the boss rush. But Quickman's weapon is probably the second best in the game in my opinion. I enjoy using it, you get a lot of ammo for it, and it's a pretty powerful weapon. If you know what you're doing with it, it's pretty good. But now it's time to probably bring up the best weapon in the game, and the weapon that I actually kind of think detracts from this game. This game is really good, although the weapon balancing is horrible. From defeating Metal Man, a relatively easy Robot Master after a relatively easy stage, most people like to go for this first, you get the Metal Blades, and the Metal Blades are one of the most overpowered, if not the most overpowered weapon in the entire Mega Man series, and possibly in all of video games. They're extremely powerful, like 2 to 5 times the power of your Buster, and depending on the situation, they can fire in all 8 directions. That was an intentional kill right there, because I knew I probably wouldn't survive the baddies up ahead, so I wanted to refill my life. But, the Metal Blades, you can throw them in all 8 directions, you have a ton of ammo for them, and you'll practically never run out, because ammo capsules, the blue things, are not, very scarce, and when you're just ripping up enemies with the Metal Blades, you really don't need to worry about ammo, and you'll definitely get ammo. So the Metal Blades are awesome. They're good against a whopping 4 out of the 8 Robot Masters in this game. They're effective against. It just really tears this game apart, and if you're playing on normal where your shots do double damage and some of the enemies like these tin cans go down in 1 hit, no, exactly, that's why they go down in 1 hit, because your shots do double damage, but just the game becomes so easy. In fact, I think this is the easiest classic Mega Man game, easily easier than Mega Man 1, easier than Mega Man 3, easier than Mega Man 4, maybe not 5, 5's pretty easy, but if you know what you're doing in this game with the Metal Blades, it's way easier. Definitely 7, 8, 9, 10, so yeah, the Metal Blades really wreck this game, and I'm trying to not use the Metal Blades too much in this game. As you can see, we took them out with the Quick Boomerang, but I will be using them in certain situations because their multi-directional usage is extremely useful in certain situations. And now, of course, we get equipped with the infamous Metal Blades, and yeah, now we're off to Bubble Man. I'll be taking out a whopping 4 Robot Masters in this part. And Bubble Man is weak to the Metal Blades, and that's kind of his main weakness. Even though 4 Robot Masters in this game are weak to the Metal Blades, they really have a a certain order you're, like, supposed to do them in, and here's kind of a fail moment coming up ahead. Trying to demonstrate the power of the metal blades, but I get hit by this frog, this little frog, and I die. So that just shows me I'm overusing that weapon, and I should not use it. Until later, when I need it. But, what was I talking about again? I forgot. So, this is, oh yeah, Bubble Man. And the Order of the Robot Masters. Even though you can use the Metal Blades on 4 of the Robot Masters, Flash Man, Metal Man, Bubble Man, and Wood Man, I believe the true order is supposed to be Metal Man, Bubble Man, Heat Man, Wood Man, Air Man, Crash Man, Flash Man, Quick Man, and then back to Metal Man. But, yeah, you can use multiple weapons to take out the Robot Masters, which gives this game a bit of flexibility, if not heavily leaning towards the Metal Blades. Later games in the series just made it pretty linear, where, well, not linear in the sense that you had to do a certain Robot Master at a time, but in the sense that only one weapon was good against one Robot Master, like 4 and onwards. 3 had kind of a weird setup going for it, but we'll talk about that when we get to Mega Man 3. But, yeah, this is Bubble Man's stage, and Bubble Man looks like an evil dentist. He just gets torn apart by the Metal Blades, and this is kind of a tricky, spike area right here, simply because holding down the button, gravity is lowered in Mega Man Water stages, so you have to really lightly tap that button so Mega Man doesn't go too high, or else he'll fly into the spikes, and spikes are instant kill in the Mega Man series, so you want to avoid them at all costs. As we can see now, those Metal Blades can rip through the shrimp enemies in only one hit, where it takes around 3 with the Mega Buster. And it seems like the Metal Blades fluctuate power, which is kind of weird. That's why I said 2 to 5 earlier. Yeah, and there's just some more frog enemies, and as we get out here, there'll be some crab enemies. Giant enemy crabs, if you will. And they kind of come down. They can be tricky if you don't know where they're coming from before. Just make sure to blast them out of the way, and then take your jumps, or else you could be knocked into a pit, and that's no good. I get an extra life there, and here we come to Bubble Man. Switch to the Metal Blades, and Bubble Man's probably, Bubble Man's one of the easier Robot Masters definitely to take out in this game. Even without the Metal Blades, you could definitely go after this guy first if you're feeling like it. And you can just see we just rip this guy apart. And bam, he's dead. And from Bubble Man, we get the Bubble Lead, which kind of acts like the holy water from Castlevania. It goes forward and can detect invisible blocks, as will become more useful in the later Wily stages. And the final boss, which is, strangely, the only weapon that can hit the final boss. But yeah, Bubble Lead. Other than that, it's kind of useless. And yeah. So, we'll go to Woodman in Part 2.